bold ones. E.G. Marshall, John Saxon, David Hartman, doctors expanding the horizons of the new medicine. Burl Ives, Joseph Campanella, James Farentino, lawyers defending justice in the nation's courtrooms. Leslie Nielsen, Harry Rhodes, public servants enforcing the laws of a challenging society. The bold ones.
One black, one with cream, one no cream, one sugar, one toasted Danish. The Weight Watchers are going to be mad at you. Ladies, the coffee break will commence in approximately 10 minutes. Casey!
Sorry about the project, Frank. But we can't afford funds on a project that will be a duplication of what they're doing at Cornell. Arnie, I tried for $78,000 for you, but the best I could do was $33.
Dollars or thousand?
Well, gentlemen, that about wraps up another bountiful appropriations meeting. Paul, since you haven't submitted a written request for funds, I assume you have no new projects planned.
Well, Dave, as a matter of fact, Ralph and I do have something planned. All we need is a small room, a free hand, and $500,000. We'll settle for $100,000.
Would you like to tell us what you're planning to do with $100,000?
Mm-hmm. Build a tactile vision substitution system.
A what?
A pair of eyes.
Mrs. Marcuse is ready for discharge.
You can go home, Miss Marcuse.
And here is Miss Woods, who was admitted for observation yesterday. I'd like to sign her out. She came in through emergency. She fainted at work but had no symptoms when she arrived here. The emergency intern claims she had a bitemporal visual field cut. I examined her carefully this morning, and she had no visual problems at all.
I'll buy that. Should we call the emergency intern a liar or an incompetent? Well?
Neither.
Good. Then we'll accept the fact that yesterday this patient had a bitemporal hemianopsia. Now it's gone. Why? You're going to float out of here.
I'm so thirsty.
Aside from Miss Woods, what do they call you?
Janet. Well, really, Casey.
Well, Casey, I'm Dr. Hunter. I'm your friendly neighborhood doctor, and I want you to tell me how long you've been guzzling water like that.
Since yesterday.
All night?
Mm-hmm.
Better start a 24-hour intake output. I'll see you tomorrow, Casey.
Well, they said I could go home today.
Cheer up. Food's not much, but sheets are clean.
How about that, huh?
You're doing very nicely.
Nicely. It's a miracle. That's what it is. You saved my life. You know, great men should never be modest. I had pain. Not pain. I mean pain.
Dr. Turner.
When they said, Zach, You gotta have an operation. I said, okay, then give me an operation. And they said, no, it isn't that simple. This is a big operation. We gotta make you a new aorta. And maybe there's only 6 surgeons in the whole United States who can do this job. So I said, okay, name him. They named you, the Miracle Man. Shake. I'll see you tomorrow, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And stop being so modest. What's the percentage?
Right. Hi.
Modest?
One of my many virtues.
Who was he?
Just the president of Garvin Electronics.
Just.
I did an aorta graft on him. He's excessively grateful.
Ah, the life of a surgeon.
Are you going somewhere or just patrolling the corridors?
Well, Ralph and I have an appointment to meet with David about that research project I mentioned yesterday. Thought you might join us.
Why?
Moral support, as a friend.
Are you conning me?
Me?
Come in. Ted, I didn't expect you.
Just happened to be in the neighborhood.
Have you read this? Paul and Ralph have come up with quite a theory. Quite a theory. I'm impressed.
Well, actually, Ben Franklin sort of came up with a theory. We've just got a way to put it into practice.
Now, what Paul and Ralph are proposing is the replacement of the blind eye with a camera which captures the image electronically and transmits it to the brain. Now, we can't hook up a camera to the brain, but we might be able to hook up a camera to a sensory area that is already in contact with the brain and transmits impulses to it constantly.
Like the skin?
What we're planning is to convert the visual image in the camera into an electrical impulse that'll cause a duplicate of the image to be lightly impressed on the skin of the subject's back. We're hoping that the brain will learn to recognize the new visual image and subject will have a pseudo-vision.
Eventually, we'll be able to miniaturize the entire apparatus and allow a blind person the ability to see anywhere.
At least, to recognize shapes, sizes, and spatial relationships.
Maybe to read. I've spent almost 10 years working out the technology. On paper, it's sound.
What do you think, Ted?
Well, it's got a lot of ifs. If the skin can capture the image, if the sensory nerves can transmit it, if the brain will recognize it as a visual image.
All it takes to find out is time. And the money to build a prototype system. We'll risk the time. If you'll risk the money. The thought just occurred to us that maybe you could postpone the hypothermia project.
Paul, and I'm in the middle of something that just might reduce the death rate from coronary thrombosis by 30%. Do you want me to stop?
Not stop. Postpone.
You win some, you lose some. See you, buddy.
Can't blame me for trying.
Seems to me he tried the same thing on you about 4 months ago with equal success.
What can you give us, Dave?
You can't get blood out of a stone. But there's a spare room in the basement you can have, if you don't mind guinea pigs for neighbors.
You know what this is, don't you? It's our mausoleum. We've just been thrown a bone. Keep us quiet.
Well, we got what David could afford to give us. And remember, Doctor, when you start with nothing, things can't get worse.
Hi, doctors.
How's my thirsty girl?
Unquenched. Wouldn't be so bad if this was eggnog. I've been trying to gain a little weight, so I've been on this eggnog diet. I heard that Twiggy was out and the plump was in, and the fat farms are very upset. I was just reading this article. At least I was trying to read this article. The light in here is terrible. Anyway, it's this whole article on the new woman who's really the old woman in a new magazine.
Cover your left eye. Look straight at me. Tell me when you first see my pen light.
Now. 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 Now.
Other eye? Same thing.
Now. 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 Now.
Okay.
Must be pretty serious when the chief of medicine comes calling every day.
Well, Casey, we'd like to do a few tests. Something's wrong, you know that. Why don't we just find out what it is?
Can I have some eggnog?
Sure. As long as we know how many ounces you're drinking. See you tomorrow, Casey.
That's what you said yesterday.
All right, let's get special views of the cell and optic foramina. Call me when they're ready.
What do you think?
I think she's got problems.
Okay, we've got a lab, period. If you can call it that. Neat, clean, and empty. But I need equipment, a couple of technicians, at least part-time. A lab assistant, engineer. It's critical help, Paul.
We'll get it.
We will.
I just finished reading your notes on hemodynamic influence on intraocular pressure. Very impressive.
Are you trying to remind me there's other research besides the vision substitution system in case we go unfunded?
I'm suggesting there are other contributions you can make, in addition to the system.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had almost 100 papers published on everything from microelectrode studies to neuropharmacological research. It's very thorough, very learned. But my kids still can't see.
Okay, you kids, I want to see a little hustle. Let's go, come on. All right, let's play ball.
All right, kid.
Okay, gang, let's load it. Come on. Good game, Ken.
Thanks.
Hey, your dad and Dr. Hunter are here.
Great.
Hey, Ken, you were looking good out there. Hello, Norm. Doc.
Hi, Dad. Paul.
You didn't work up an appetite out there, did you?
For Italian food?
You are on. Join us, Norm.
Take a rain check. See you, Ken.
See ya.
How was your day, Ken?
Okay, I guess.
Good.
You guys?
Okay. I guess. Not much doubt, is there? It was the fantastic thirst that tipped me off. It has to be diabetes insipidus. Now, I have the visual defect of this.
Yeah, we're probably dealing with a cell of mass lesion. How old is the girl?
24.
Let's get a transfer to neurosurgery and finish the workup. Is she tough?
With a name like Casey? Yeah, she's tough.
Casey? Good morning, I'm Dr. Stewart.
Hello, Dr. Stewart.
Catching up on your reading?
Do you know what's wrong with our society today?
I can think of about 15 or 20 things offhand.
Well, it all boils down to communication. So, I'm improving my vocabulary by learning one new polysyllable word a day.
Good idea. And today's word is pneumoencephalogram. Do you want to look it up?
Dr. Brack, please. Dr. Brack.
Well, what it is we're going to inject some air into your spine. It'll travel up here, and we'll take pretty pictures.
Well, then I guess I'll find out if my parents were right after all.
Hmm?
Addle-brained and empty-headed.
Dr. Holt.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you believe that?
No, not really.
Hi, David.
Good morning.
I assume that's a dentist's chair?
Well, to you, it may be a dentist chair. To the dentist who gave it to us, it may be a dentist chair, but to us, it's a photographic plate, the retina of our mechanical eye.
I see.
You see. That's the point.
You sound like the magician in a local carnival. Why this chair?
Simple. It's sturdy. It moves up and down, and it swings around.
And all we need is $50,000.
It keeps dwindling. Another couple of days, we may be able to finance you by passing the hat in the cafeteria.
Well, to be very honest with you, David, we're sort of doing that already.
Oh?
We've been telephoning the members of the Women's Auxiliary, and thus far we have been pledged $752.
Are you trying to back me into a sympathetic corner? I'm sorry, Paul. I haven't any money for you. Where did you get this table?
From your library.
You think we upset him?
No. We didn't ask for his table back.
Who made the provisional diagnosis?
Paul,
He doesn't miss much, does he?
do we need more?
I don't think so. We're either dealing with a primary tumor or an aneurysm.
How about a complete endocrine workup?
Normally, I'd say yes. In this case,
Sid, you're the brain surgeon. I just want to know what we do next.
we go in.
Dr. Holland, please.
Hi, Sawchuck.
Good afternoon, doctors.
How's surgery today?
Busy as usual.
Hey, is Mr. Garvin still with us?
Noisy as ever.
Good. You haven't seen Dr. Stewart, have you?
There's your man.
Oh, Ted.
Paul, Ralph. Oh, our scheduling form, please.
Ted, I need a favor. One old, used, second-hand television camera from your excessively grateful patient,
Dr.
Mr.
Roth,
Garvin.
Please. Dr. Roth, please.
What's the matter?
Huh? Nothing.
Something wrong?
I don't know. What are the neurosurgeons doing tomorrow, Sawchuck?
Craniotomy.
Who's the patient?
Casey Woods.
How's the headache?
Who would think that stuff you breathe could give you such a headache?
Is it severe?
Not if I lie quietly. And if you knew me better, you'd know I'm not very good at quietness. What did the x-rays show, Doctor, besides my empty head and my avid brain?
Well, we didn't find either of those. But we did find something that, we're going to have to take a closer look at.
You mean operate?
Tomorrow. You have a growth inside your head, Casey, that's situated in such a way that it's putting pressure on two vital areas. One is your pituitary gland. That's why you felt so thirsty lately. The other is at the junction of the two nerves from your eyes. And that's why you've had a certain type of visual loss.
And why I fainted the other day?
Yeah, we think so. The growth could have shifted if you suddenly bent over. We're going to have to take it out.
Well, I guess if you have to. I'm getting awful tired of being thirsty all the time.
Do you want us to get in touch with your parents?
No. They're 1,200 miles away and they've got their own hang-ups. Will I be all right after?
We don't know what we're going to find, Casey. The best chance would be a benign tumor.
Hey, thanks for telling me the truth. What scares me the most is not knowing. You've got cold hands, Doctor.
How you coming?
Well, I've just about scrounged all the parts for the commutator. I think I've got a line on an oscilloscope. The tactile stimulator matrix is ready to be connected to the commutator.
We're progressing.
We need that camera, Paul.
You know, it's funny. Sometimes a man can get so wrapped up in a dream that he loses touch with reality.
You mean this project's a dream?
Meaning if we pull it off, when we pull it off, who'd believe it? Some of my best friends are doctors, and some of the best doctors are skeptics.
They'll have to believe it.
Well, you're a biophysicist, and you're good at it. I'm good at what I do. And neither one of us is involved in just a scientific exercise. But there's a big world full of people out there from Missouri who will believe it when they see it.
You get me that camera, they'll see it. That's my reality.
Hi, Casey.
Boy, do I feel woozy. Did you ever feel like this?
Once or twice. I hardly recognize you without a glass of water in your hand.
Remember those things they say about doctors?
No, what do they say about doctors?
I don't know, but it isn't true.
You are woozy.
See you later, Doctor.
See you.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Let me have the plain journals, please.
How's she holding? Good.
Give me the journals with teeth and the Sachs dissector, please. That's fine. And let me get a little closer look at that, please. That's just fine. Bayonet forceps, please. Feels like a meningioma on the tuberculum cella.
Then it's benign.
We'll have to get a frozen section to be sure. It's not going to be easy, though. The tumor capsule's adherent to the optic chiasm and the nerves. Give me angle scissors, please. Now let's see if we can free it up. Have the plain journals, please. Oh, hold it. We have a little bleeding here. Well, let's get a little suction in there, please. Can I have that blunt hook, please?
Can you get control of that vessel?
Yes, but I'm going to have to sacrifice the chiasm.
She'll be blind.
She'll be alive.
Quiet, Casey. Quiet now. It's Dr. Stewart here. Relax, relax.
2 milligrams of diazepam IV.
Relax, relax, Casey. Quiet.
I can't see.
Yes, I know.
I
Relax.
can't see. Do you understand, huh? I can't see.
Quiet, Casey. Casey.
I can't
Quiet.
see.
2 milligrams.
Quiet.
I can't see. I can't see.
I was just passing by.
And so was I. Hey, how's Casey?
You got a pretty nice place here.
We still need a few things.
Like a television camera? I'll see what I can do. I can't promise anything, so don't mention anything to Ralph.
Who's there, please?
Dr. Stewart.
I can't see Dr. Stewart.
I know.
I guess I've been pretty wild.
3 days. You've had a rough time. But you're gonna be all right now.
But I can't see. When will I see?
You can't see. And you won't see. You're blind. Hey. You've done all your crying. No more tears, not for this setback. There's always something. As long as we live, there's always something. And somehow we survive.
Are you serious?
Very serious. It's not going to happen at the Institute. Maybe it's not going to happen, period. Anyway, I'm tired of staring at a lot of hardware and telephoning chatty ladies looking for handouts. That's no way to do research.
What about Ken?
Well, it means pulling up stakes, taking Ken out of school, going to a strange city.
Ken's doing very well here. And you've built a good career at the Institute. Can't you hold off on this? Think about it for a while? You know we're probably going to get all we need sooner or later.
Sooner. Or later. I've got a good deal here, Paul.
But it's not the vision substitution system.
I'm tired of waiting.
1 week.
What for? What good is it?
1 week. That's all I ask.
Azagus.
A-Z-Y-G-O-U-S.
Well, you can spell it. But what does it mean?
It means I finished the A's and we can go on to the B's.
Come on, what does it mean?
I don't know. It's such an ugly word, it couldn't possibly mean anything good.
Azygous, it means not existing in pairs.
See, I told you it was an ugly word. With a meaning like that, it would have to be ugly.
You mean not existing in pairs isn't good?
Of course not. A pair of people. It's like a pair of hands, a pair of feet. They go nicely together.
You know something, I agree with you.
Of course.
Someone here to see you.
It's my guinea pig, Doctor.
Right. And I should be insulted by the way you can pick me out of a crowd.
I like guinea pigs. They're soft.
In that case, I'm flattered.
How's Ralph?
Oh, discouraged.
I think they're paging you, Doctor.
It's nice to see you, Casey.
All right, on with the bees.
Dr. Hunter.
Paul, we've got our camera.
I guess it's not every patient who gets the chief of surgery to push her wheelchair. Are you there, Doctor?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm here.
Are you married, Doctor?
No,
Involved?
not particularly.
Why not?
Well, I don't know, maybe I'm getting to be one of those azygous people.
I don't believe it. I just think you're paired up with a career and there's no room for anything else. That would be awful.
Been meaning to talk to you about your coffee.
I sent Nancy home early. Only 15 hours today. I must be getting soft.
Ouch.
It only hurts for a second. What's on your mind, Ted?
Ralph and Paul. You know, they got most of their equipment. All they need now is enough money to get the rest of it and put it together. A few thousand, I guess. I'd like your permission to, well, give them what I can from my hypothermia project. I thought I had it pared to the bone, but it shows you how wrong you can be.
What happens to your project? You squeeze out more, you lose 6 months, and maybe the chance to get out the first paper.
Dave, I'm a doctor, not an editor. Do I get permission?
Why are you doing this?
Because I'm not an azygous person. Does that make sense? I know.
The camera captures the image on the board. We can see what the image is by watching the monitor. The visual image is scanned and transformed in the commutator into electrical impulses. Each impulse activates a specific stimulator in the chair. There are 400 of them. And the ones that are activated make an impression on the back of the person sitting there.
Like riding on each other's backs when we were kids.
Or recognizing a rubber stamp pressed against the skin.
If the rubber stamp were a couple of square feet in size.
And cost $30,000.
All right, Paul. All right. Is it horizontal or vertical?
Vertical.
Good. Now?
Horizontal.
Now try this.
I'm not sure, Ralph. Got two things with a space between.
What are they?
One's a square.
That's right.
The other's narrow at the top. It's wide at the bottom. Triangle.
Fantastic. What do we do now?
We tested on a blind person.
We tested on my son. Son. Now remember, there's nothing to worry about. Paul will be there, and Dr. Stewart. You remember him?
This really works, huh, Dad?
Yes, son. Now remember, the camera moves left, right. Good. Now, up, down. Fine. Now, see if you can find the object. Little to the left. No, little over. Try it up. No, the other way. Now concentrate very hard. Can you tell me what's in front of you?
It's a camera. What am I supposed to do? I can't see. How do I see?
Just relax. Can't you tell me anything? Can you feel anything like a picture on your back?
I can't see it. I just can't see anything.
Stop it, kid.
You stop it. I can't see. I'm sorry, Dad.
I never should have allowed it to happen.
How could you stop it? Ralph's been waiting too long for today.
You'd better find yourself another subject, and somebody unrelated to the experiment. All Ralph proved was that emotional and psychological factors can influence the results.
Yeah, you've proven that the apparatus works by using it yourself blindfolded, but there are two other categories of potential subjects. The congenitally blind, like Ken, and people who could once see. Different sets of problems altogether.
I think Ted's right. For example, people who are born blind, particularly those who've been overprotected, have difficulty with spatial relationships, sometimes even with up and down, right and left. And the whole system depends on the subject's ability to operate the camera.
Now that you mention it, when I had the blindfold on, I had a tough time keeping my direction straight. What we need, then, is someone who has seen and who can learn to recognize a new kind of visual image.
Right.
Casey?
What do you think?
I'm sending her home tomorrow. She's making a sound recovery. She's adjusting. After all she's been through, don't expect me to sit her in that chair and put her through that ringer we saw today.
But you said she was making a sound adjustment. Now, that ringer you mentioned was caused by an emotional involvement. It's not the same thing with Casey. Or is it?
Paul, forget it.
Why not try approaching it to her?
Why not?
Because we can't dangle a carrot in front of her and maybe not deliver.
Ted, I know it works. It's just an experiment. It works. But it's not easy, and it takes time.
I smell guinea pigs. I guess I'm in their territory.
Mm-hmm.
What do I have to do?
Just what you're doing. In front of you is a television camera. Now, there's a hand on each wheel, and that's how you operate it. Now, it's supposed to act just like an eye. At least it should if it's working properly. Now, I'm going to put some cloth strips on the board in front of you.
Look, Dave, I've made my decision. I'm leaving. What are you dragging me here for?
Because there are experiments going on that you should see.
But I don't want to
Don't argue.
Go ahead, Casey.
What is it?
You tell me.
I'm not sure.
Take your time.
It's a telephone. My God! I see a telephone.
We're on the verge of a new era for the blind. One of these days, your boy Ken may be able to work, play, and live with a new kind of sight.
I saw it. I really saw it.